Hello and welcome to another World of Tanks replay video with me, Sir 10 Death. Today, a little bit of a treat for you. I've called this one SU-152 Saves the Day, and it does. It's been sent in by a good friend of mine, a player called Fwaffy, and he's going to show us today how he manages to personally save the day, in my opinion, in a tier 9 matchup. It's on Corellia and they are defending the cap, and I've cut to quite early in the game where Fwaffy is taking up a common place for TDs when defending on this first line here, looking down for easy target. Now I've actually left in a bit of replay here at the beginning, which Fwaffy won't mind me leaving in, where he makes a catastrophic error, but it's to prove a point here. He has accidentally, without realising it, loaded up on premium ammo, on heat ammo. Now he's got over there, the Centurion 7-1 has been spotted in the distance. You'll see the very slow aim time. He is using the stock 152mm cannon on this. Yeah, there's another IS coming around the corner there, and he's looking for shots at the minute. And there is a bit of a misconception that if you spam premium, you always just hit big. And look at that, that's a tier 7 tank, and because it was ever so slightly angled, the heat round did nothing. Now, heat, don't get me wrong, can be devastating in the right hands and in the right circumstances, but if a tank has any kind of spaced armour or is slightly angled because of the normalisation factors of heat rounds, it tends to just do nothing. That one there I think actually didn't even hit the tank because this gun does have quite a large dispersion on the reticle there. So far he's shot 2 rounds here, and it is accidental. He did tell me when I contacted him about this that it was purely accidental to be loading premium rounds earlier on. He didn't mean to. That one does hit the side of the Centurion 7-1, knocks the track off, but does nothing else. So, this is just deliberately being left in. It's a bit of a heads up for people who have a belief that if they throw gold at their tanks, they're going to auto-pen and auto-win. It doesn't always happen, particularly on guns like this. That one misses completely, where they rely quite heavily upon high explosive ammo. So far, you'll be thinking to yourself, hang on, this Fwaffy guy's done nothing. He hasn't really saved the day at all. Please do stick with us, because this video is going to get interesting towards the end here. At the minute, not a whole lot's happening. The defending team are, well, they've lost a tank, but other than that, not much is going on. He's taken up this position. He's done a good thing here, because he's got a position where he can get shots in, and he hasn't been seen yet. Somebody else finishes off the tank down there. He's still looking for shots on that Centurion 7-1. Nothing's happening here so far. He's now realised, of course, the error of his ways, and he's switched to using the high explosive ammunition. So, we're going to see what this kind of ammo can do, and why I personally love playing derp guns. It's a commonly known fact amongst my viewers that I use the 122mm gun on my KB1 at tier 5. I love playing tanks like this one, the SU-152. I quite commonly use HE rounds on things like my T110E3 or the T95 rather than standard armour penetrating. So, we've got a tank, yeah, we've got a guy in IS-2 just around this corner here. There's that Cent 7-1 again. He's still just poking around on ridges a little bit. And you'll probably notice now that the team are now losing 5-1. Things are starting to go very wrong very fast. That Carnarvon down there is the last man standing over there, and Fwaffy's trying to do his best to help out, but he's got such a slow reload. Now, this is where he does actually do a nice shot there. He takes that guy, almost takes him out, didn't quite kill him, stops him in his tracks, literally, and just buys a little bit of time, but it's not very much time. So the team are losing 7-4. Fwaffy's done his first little bit of damage, and he's not quite alone up here. There is an IS-3, and there's Straswagen down there to his left, but he's quite exposed out here. There's also a Scorpion G. But the team are folding pretty fast. That north side of the map has gone pear-shaped very fast. There's a T-54 lightweight still up there. Other than that, not much happening. Somebody finishes off that Centurion that's been causing a bit of havoc down there for a while. But we know there's a Tiger was seen down there earlier. And Fwaffy's waiting for shots on that because that would be a juicy target for this 152mm gun. Obviously, his view range is a little bit limited. He doesn't seem to have binoculars on this, so he's there we go. There's that Tiger. He's been spotted. That Tiger is being rather foolish, sitting in the open. Fwaffy finishes him off. Okay, didn't do a huge amount of damage. 349 finishes him off. Now, the game's still going very wrong, very fast, and I'm just going to in a couple of minutes I'm going to cut to the next part of the game, the bit where it gets really, really interesting. Because so far, they are the defending team. Half the time's gone. It's 5 minutes in. The team are losing by tanks, but they're still holding the cap. And Fwaffy decides it's time to move on here because there's nothing else down there as far as we're aware. So he decides to, he shuffles around a bit, sees if he can get a better position. Now, I'm just going to cut now to the next part of the video where he's a little bit further down here. Now, you'll see where he's relocated to. Now, this is where things get very, very clever. The team are now losing 11 8. The opposing team are starting to cap. Had Fwaffy stayed where he was, like most people would have, he would have been spotted by that AMX and finished off. Being honest, he would have been killed off quite easily by now. But he's relocated somewhere that's on the very fringes of where he can see and where he can be seen. Now, I said earlier on that I believe, in my opinion, that basically Fwaffy is responsible for this game being a win. Team are losing 12-8. They've only got 3 tanks left. They've got the Straswagen, they've got an IS-3, and they've got Fwaffy, who's sitting a long way back. There's the Jagdtiger that's in the cap. And he just does that. Now, that's not a huge amount of damage, 250, but it resets the cap. And that's a good move to make. It resets the cap without him being seen. So at the minute, that Jagdtiger knows he's been shot, and he knows roughly where from, but not who by. And he's still capping again. Fwaffy's still trying to help out his other teammates. There is an Oni trying to get around the corner here. You can't quite see him. There's an Indian Panzer over there. They've still got an Arty going on the team. They've got a Tiger 2 as well. And they're capping still. Oh, here comes that Tiger 2, who is tunnel visiting. Now, he has spotted Fwaffy, but Fwaffy can take him out of the game. Straight away, though, Fwaffy knows he's been seen, so he's trying to get himself into a little bit of better cover. He takes a hit from the Oni, and he bounces one, or he takes one of the tracks from the Indian Panzer. But that Jagdtiger sat in the same place, so for the second time in this game, he can save the game. Because, to be honest, the Straswagen's not really doing anything to be progressive. The IS-3's got his own problems with that Oni behind him and the Indian Panzer in front of him. So Fwaffy is resetting the cap and keeping this game alive. If he hadn't, by now that Jagdtiger would have capped. The game would have been over. He resets for the 3rd time. The IS-3 is now being killed off. There's just Fwaffy and the Straswagen left, and the Jagdtiger's finally figured out that if he just sits there, he's going to get shot all day long. But the game's not won yet. There's a minute left. The opposing team, and he resets again. That was a blind fire, assuming that Jagdtiger hadn't moved, and he hadn't. So now they've got a choice. They haven't got time to cap with 1 tank. So they've either got to get them all into cap now, or they've got to hunt down these 2 guys and kill them off. So they're going for it. They're going for the kill win. Fwaffy's trying to finish off the Jagdtiger, can't quite, but he does see this Oni coming around. The Oni's going for it now. He's going to try and finish off. They know where Fwaffy is, roughly speaking. But can he help out? Can he help his teammate out? Hopefully this hits. It does, and sets him on fire and takes him out of the game. That probably saves that Straswagen's life. Which, again, in my opinion, essentially saves the game. Because if I'm honest, I think if they had managed to get rid of that Straswagen, they would have quite easily chased Fwaffy down and killed him off. Arty's trying to do his bit by hitting the spot where Fwaffy was last seen. Although he's not currently lit up, they know where he is, roughly speaking. There's now just 3 or 4 seconds left. He does take a hit from the Indian Panzer, but he's done what was necessary to save this game for his team. Now, I'm just stopping the play there. Unfortunately, I don't have the end plates for this. I call this a save the day, and I think he does. I think his choice to relocate to that point in the map when he did made the difference between a defeat and a win. And it's just a way of showing off how a low tier tank in a high up matchup can still have an impact if played correctly. Really good game by Fwaffy. Thank you very much, Fwaffy, for sending that in. And as ever, please do share, subscribe, like my channel. I'll keep the videos coming. Thanks very much. Goodbye.